You have to know.
Absolutely. And that's where discernment comes. And that can only come through Jesus. And that can only come through salvation.
Yes.
So you see how it's like people are cowering in fear. I don't have any money, and I'm not going to have any food. Look, first of all, he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Okay? And if he can provide with a few fish and a couple of pieces of bread, okay? And I'm Italian when it comes to bread, all right, you know? we know our bread, right? But so if he could do that, he could do it again. So if you put your faith and your trust and every cell in your body is vibrating at the frequency God has ordained us to operate at, okay? And that's a whole nother conspiracy theory we talk about with what the Rothschilds did and with frequencies and stuff.
Well, talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
Go back to the Rothschilds.
All right. Well, let me go back even farther. Okay. We have to start off with the turn of the century, and we have to start off with Rockefeller. Okay. And Rockefeller, of course, was the oil baron. We don't even have to go cover that. But what a lot of people don't know, and this is in my opinion where it starts. Okay. You see, Rockefeller, they had this byproduct when they were creating oil, and they didn't have any use for it, and they were dumping it into the creeks and the rivers because they were cared about the environment then too, right? Sarcasm. Anyway, so they were dumping these products into the rivers and the creeks, and then along the way somebody showed him, you know, we could take this byproduct from the oil and we could convert this into this new thing called pharmaceuticals, okay? And by having the pharmaceuticals, we have a whole new industry. Well, this whole new industry, you know, doctors at that time had the food pyramid, and we had exercise, and we had diet, and we controlled our issues with our health with vitamins and minerals and herbs. And now all of a sudden there's these prescriptions that they want people to take, and doctors were against it. So Rockefeller had to then take some of his oil money and give it to the major schools in the form of endowments. The Harvards and the Yales and the Princetons in the form of endowments, to have his curriculum be the only curriculum that's taught. Now, it took some time, okay, but if anybody out there right now has a doctor that says you should have vitamins, minerals, and herbs and natural substances versus a prescription,
yeah,
you got an old doctor,
yeah,
okay? Because once those people die off, now we got their version of this.
We have one coming, I think, this week, by the way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, he'll confirm.
It's a she, yeah.
She'll confirm. So the doctors initially were not going along with this. Well, they had mysteriously had their licenses being revoked, and they were being shunned. Well, then Mr. Rockefeller then creates the American Medical Association, which is how you become a doctor. And then there were people that were getting sick from the pharmaceuticals, and they were causing cancer, so he created the American Cancer Society so that he can deal with the cancer. All right, so you see, what happens is money can create...
It's the root of all evil.
Indeed, the love. And the love of it created the system that we have right now. So when you take just the medical pillar, that's a typical example of the good versus evil. And we can go through, if we had about 5 hours, we can go through every one of those 7. And we can basically show you the beginning and the ending and the root of the good and the evil that has been fighting in there of the 7. Now, we don't have time for that. So if we fast forward now to religion. Because in a religion, first of all, when people hear the word religion, they think, well, Christianity is a religion. No, it's not a religion. Christianity is a relationship. There are types of churches that make it a religion because it's all about acts, and it's all about works, and it's all about doctrine, and it's all about, you know, what the higher ups are saying. That's the problem. Okay? Because if we would just look at the Bible as the only source we need to connect us to God, not man, not any other doctrine, not any other processions or what's the word?